So, good evening, friends. You joined me again. So thank you. This episode is not going to be, I haven't got the energy for the this, the that. So it's going to be a little bit of I sense a lot of you have switched off already. So thank you for doing that. It's a reflection. So if you have the time to listen to me reflect, do so. Otherwise, you might as well switch off now. So I'm a little bit sad. I had hoped to. I'm going off to Bristol tomorrow, back to university, back to my life. Really, this has been one extended long holiday, which has been great, but it's been very introspective holiday. I kind of like. I have somewhat been in the dock for a lot of the time. You understand that expression of being in the dock? Legal term. So, like, being cross-examined. Now, I'm not complaining about that. I've sort of, if anything, I've been the one who's been cross-examining myself and annoyingly asking other people to cross-examine me against their wishes occasionally. But I needed to figure out what the hell was wrong with me and what the hell was right with me. And I think a lot's right with me, but perhaps not as much as I think. I actually think as much as I think, but we needed to figure out what was wrong with me, because something is always a little bit wrong with me, and so we need to just try and be a bit more specific. So I can see that this is being extremely dull from an external perspective. So if I can be a bit more specific, what's making me morose is that I had hoped to put my relationship with my beloved into a great place before I headed off to university and we split into two different cities. That has not happened, unfortunately. So, but what has happened this evening is that we both love each other, and that has been expressed. So that is a starting place in a relationship, so that's a start. At least we're there. At least we're not somewhere else. But I had really hoped to create some memories before I headed off to university. Create at least one evening of memories. She just messaged. So going back to Bristol tomorrow. So what I bought the other day was ADHD Explained at the bookshop. If you watched that episode, perhaps this will be a familiar book to your eyes. The bookshop episode, the concerning the what was it, the quest for wisdom or something ridiculous. The quest for wisdom is ever present. So what I think I'm going to title this episode, I've just figured this out now, but you have already seen it, seeing as the title is below the video. If I'd like to explain that. Perhaps I explain things too much. Do I explain things too much? Possibly. Could be a character flaw. So, morose hope is kind of what we're trying to talk about here. I don't feel great. I need to sleep, really. It's 8 p.m, so that's that kind of day. I've had a really full day, action-packed, lots of progress. But you get to that evening and, if things didn't go perfectly in the day like they did at the end, you can get that sadness. You can get that sadness, but you don't want to let that sadness sort of seep into your life and start to change your outlook and your optimism. So just underneath the sadness, I do have that deep reservoir of hope. I've disappeared again into this kind of persona, haven't I? This sort of David Attenborough annoying persona. But that's okay. So I do have this morose hope. I do have this hope. I do have this hope. So why do I have the hope? Well, I just have it. So, it's backed up by a lot of evidence. But I have even more hope than there is evidence for. That makes sense? There is evidence for a certain amount of hope in my life, in terms of what I've demonstrated over the past. So I was grieving heavily for 6 months, and then grieving also for 3 months, and then we're still grieving, but we've had 3 months of really go for it action. So what? So all right, 3 months of go for it action, and it's been glorious. It's certainly at times, and I think as a whole, it's been glorious. And but my actions, the point I'm getting to eventually, once I've finished rambling, is that I have more hope than there is evidence for. So my actions have provided evidence of some kind of future, some kind of positive future. Now I have hope for a future way beyond that. I have hope for a fantastic future that's really going to be fantastic. Really fantastic. And I guess the reason I have that hope is the tiny glimmers, and these will be opaque to anyone outside of my life, even the people who love me and are closest to me. It will be opaque. It will be opaque to them because they're just the subtle glimmers. The subtle glimmers in a day, the subtle glimmers whilst you're pursuing your dreams. When you pursue your dreams, sometimes, it doesn't always happen, but sometimes you just get that, I'm good at this, we can do this, I'm enjoying this, I'm loving this, it's going there. That's the place it's going. We're heading there, we are heading there, and there's no stopping me. And that's a little glimmer. Now, if you have enough of those, it gives you a solid hope for the future that you can achieve your dreams. Now, on the outside, it may not be so clear. I think we're going to go ramble over there because I think I've expressed the thing that was niggling me. So I got this book that I'm going to try and have a look at this evening. I guess one more thing I could ramble about is this, is the sort of... I've watched back some of these episodes, so if you've been watching them, thank you. I actually do like it when people watch it. It doesn't bother me too much. I only want a few views. I don't want many. When the people dear to me watch it and give me feedback, it does touches me. So thank you for watching. But I've watched some of them back, and I noticed that I am a type of person, given the videos, that is potentially extremely annoying. There's that just sort of relentless optimism, relentless idea changing, relentless, and so a lot of that can be categorized with this sort of slightly annoying condition, ADHD. I don't want it to become an excuse in my life. I don't want it to be I have ADHD, so I'm that's not good. But it is very helpful to have a lens, a lens and I found this with the bipolar. I think I have annoying. I'm not proud of this. I don't hate the fact that it sort of sounds like I'm the special one who's claiming all these extra measures. But I genuinely think I have both bipolar disorder and ADHD. And I don't really like it, but that's fine. But I do think, after having failed and struggled and gone through life, I do think that those are appropriate lenses through which to view my situation. And what is amazing about having lenses, putting a box, no one likes to be boxed in, but when you do get boxed in, Suddenly you're like, oh, I'm in this box. Damn. But there are other people who are also in that box, you know, and so it's an approximate box, but they can help you, and they are. And so I read this silly child book. Quickly grab it. Maybe the reason I made that bookshop episode was because how moving this was. Stupid child book that book for children that I picked up at the bookshop and started reading, and it was just like, this person understands me at last. I've had that experience reading other people, you know, with their testimony of ADHD, and to a greater extent than the bipolar, you know, because the bipolar is actually a massive spectrum. So bipolar goes all the way to schizophrenia and back again, you know, and so there are people who really suffer. I mean, I've suffered with the bipolar, but there are people who've suffered with a capital S, and I can't really relate so much to that. You know, the people who are trying to bash their heads in with a hammer. You know, it can get like that. Now, so there's a disconnect there. But with the ADHD, particularly the author Gabor Mate. If you haven't heard of Gabor Mate, you'd be like me 1 week ago. Hadn't heard of the guy. 1 week ago, heard of the guy. Fantastic. You know, this life? Isn't that what life's about? It's that finding that person, that author, who gets it, who just gets it. So not only does Gabor Mate get it, but he's a real profound scholar and crafter of words. But no, I was listening to his book Scattered Minds on audiobook, and I was like, I feel so understood. You know, this is a random guy, but I really, really feel understood. Now, I'm sure this is coming across as extremely self-involved, sort of self-pitying, but I really did. I was like, this guy gets it. And I have never addressed ADHD. I've never been diagnosed with that, and I've never been treated for it. But perhaps that could be part of the puzzle to figure out what on earth is going on. What on earth is wrong with me? Something's wrong with me, you know. I do seem to be different in an unproductive way, and I'm happy to be different, but I would like to be able to, you know, succeed in life and just the simple things like passing exams, sitting exams, at the moment just seem like an Everest to climb. Whereas, okay, so where was I going to go? I was just going to say, you know, so watching back over these videos, you know, I'm just looking like, they scream ADHD, the videos, do they not? And so, you know, I guess I've been in a persona. You know, I'm aware that I'm being recorded, and I'm going to upload these videos. I do it for my own reasons, because I want a record of where I'm at in life. You know, I'm not trying to show off. It's not particularly trying to show off, but of course you are to some degree. When you're recording, you have to perform. You know, there is a performance that is required. And so you have seen, if you've been watching these videos, then you have seen the good side of the ADHD. You know, the good, well, it might be good, it might be average. But there is certainly the slightly more morose side, which is like, I can't fucking get my life in order because I'm so interested in these side quests. You know, that's it. It's the side quest. Can I perhaps put the side quest? Can I put boundaries around the side quests of my life? Because they are what give me the rich joy, and ultimately are the I have found the side quests to be greatly beneficial to, because you go on the side quest when you're gripped by something, and when you're gripped by something, then that is an indication that it has something to teach you and it's something that you didn't know that you now that you should know. But you know, sometimes sometimes it's just too many side quests, and so there is the morose side of the ADHD, which is like you just find yourself back in a hole, and you're like, why am I in this hole? It's because of the side quests. So that's a little window into my life. So thank you for listening. We're gonna wrap it up there, but I am still hopeful, greatly hopeful, and I hope, if you'll pardon the pun, that the optimism that you see, you know, on your YouTube screen when you watch these videos, I hope that it doesn't piss you off. I really hope that you can, you know, steal some of the optimism from me and get it into put it into your life. I hope that you don't just think this dickhead's so obsessed with himself and so optimistic. I'm really pissed off with him. Close the video. Move on with my life. I hope that you could, you know, you're welcome to close, but I hope that it's a kind of like, maybe there is a hope. You know, maybe we can all hope and we can all dream, and maybe we can all get there together. That's the plan. So hope and dream, and please don't hate me. Feel free to hate, but please don't be cynical. If I make you cynical, I have failed in my duty, and that will make me very cross. Feel free to hate me, but don't become cynical. Alright, we're preaching. Thank you very much for listening.